Hello, my name is TEJA. I am doing my TEJA-RM from Birla Institute of Management and Technology in Greater Noida. I have done my OJT in tanishq in Pitampura store. I've had great learnings. I've focused mainly on the retail store operations and the customer relationship management. Now, basically, what we're trying to learn and what I'm trying to actually tell you through this video is I'm just trying to put down a few points on what my learnings in the retail store operations are. Basically, firstly, when I try to see, the first thing that struck me when I entered the store was the discipline which the employees were maintaining inside the store. That was it was very much required in the jewelry industry. You know, the attentiveness, I mean the way they were groomed on the whole, the neatness they maintain. With even the lady employees tying up their hair, the men are cleanly shaved and well groomed. So that is a great, when you enter a store as an employee or a customer, it feels good when the essence and the ambience of the store is so beautifully done. And also, what we're trying to, there's one more thing which I learned was the rooster. The way the rooster is planned for the entire week for the all the employees in the store. So that was one more great learning experience for me, because I was actually had the opportunity to sit with one of the floor managers and see how they actually do it. So that was a great learning. I would also like to say the gold price calculation, how various the price is calculated in different terms, and when there are different making charges for the bangles, the different making charges for the necklaces, and how the 22 carat and the different kinds of carats are calculated. So that was one more thing. And also, what we're trying to say is the Karigari section in the Pitampura store is one fantastic place where if as a customer, when I enter the store, there's a small repair in my jewelry. So what as an employee I can do is I can just take the jewelry from the customer. I can directly take it to the Karigari, who is on the fourth floor on the section. There's an entire section there. He can sit right there, and we have a Karigari always employed on the floor on the running time of the store. So there's always a guy who works, and he pretty much clears it. And what I really like is in tanishq, when I saw the store, was the marketing strategies they're applying, especially on Women's Day, or you take the kinds of the Mother's Day, Father's Day, or any kind of specific days that they're trying to stress on, or a Holy Week celebration, or the Dhanteras festival, that the tradition where the Indian families buy gold. So that is something that they're trying to work on. And also, what tanishq is basically trying to do is they're trying to the basic point is from blind trust to informative trust. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to break the jinx of a customer not having a trust, and they're trying to actually inform him this is how it's made, or this is the purity that it has. So they're actually trying to build a trust through information. So that is one of the most premier factors. And what I would also say is the amount of cleaning that's done to the store. Like every 3-4 hours, I can always see some guy cleaning up the floor or the almaras, or so there's always someone who's always taking care of the cleanliness of the store. And also I would also give a big role for the service boys who work there, who actually give water or anything. So even see, at the end of the day, it's all about bringing a smile to the customer when he enters your store, or when he's in your store and trying to buy something. The second he connects with your store, I'm sure the bill is. I'm sure he's converted into a successful bill buyer. So that is one of the biggest thing. And also the incredible methods and the ads of tanishq, and also the bill hoardings which they apply. That is one of the great learning again which I've seen, and how they apply it. So that was another great learning. And also in the customer relationships management, for me as a as a retail management student, for me the first experience for the first 3-4 weeks when I entered was just to stand and greet a customer and take him to the required spot, which was not easy, because me as a person, when I actually go up to a stranger and try to talk to him on the very first the point of making an eye contact with the customer is a difficult aspect altogether. Because if that eye contact is successful, that's when the customer's first relation with the salesperson develops. So for me, that was a very important factor which I managed to learn pretty much from the other salesperson. Also, I from my experiences here in the store. So that was a great thing. and also making the customer comfortable when he's around and he's not. And one more important thing is not stalking the customer. Yes, there are some customers who walk in, who have a look around, and they want the space. Stalking is should not be done. So these were the learnings for me in the retail store operations. And also, yeah, one more thing was the carat meter, which we can actually take the jewelry to the carat meter and see how many carats it's weighing. And that was one very good feature which was there in my store in Pitampura. And also, what I would say is the consumer strategy that they were applying and how well they were trying to make him buy was another great strategy. And also, what we're trying to do after this is the spontaneous. When we take the recommendations, the biggest recommendation which I would say is we should for Pitampura store. I know very few jewelry stores have this option, but if we have the store of a free home delivery, or at least a home delivery, even though it's not free, at least a home delivery, because there are instances when the customer comes in, he orders, and he goes back, and he has to come back again to pick it up. So if we can actually deliver it at home with proper security, I think that would be a great feature in my store. And also, one of the this thing is, when in my store, I never found pleasant music being played, which I think should be one of the main things which can actually, smoothing the customer is one important thing which I as far as I know. And also, whatever the I would also say the parking space. The space in front of the Pitampura store is pretty much very congested. I know there's an underground parking which is still not good enough, because in the times of rush on a Sunday, it becomes pretty difficult, considering that we can't park cars outside, and the security guards have a tough time trying to handle the road situation there. And also one more, the valet parking facility. We don't have a valet parking facility in Pitampura. I think that should be employed. And also what we're trying to do is, when we have the, usually we open the store at 10 a.m. and when our store manager or floor manager comes in at 10 and he calls for a meeting, meeting at the start of the day. So when we're opening the store at 10, a meeting at 10 a.m., it's sometimes what happens is the entire RSOs go up. That is where there is a situation when customers come in, and when the customers come in, there are no RSOs on the floor except one or two. And if by chance 4 or 5 customers come in, there were situations when I was not a part of the meeting, I was down with the RSOs. I had to run up to the meeting hall, call out the RSOs to come down to the customer. So I think the meeting either should be 10 to 15 minutes ahead or later, but not exactly. But as far as I know, when the store opens, the RSOs should be on the floor, and a meeting should be avoided, or maybe they should be given in groups. I've seen stores where in groups the meeting is involved, their sales targets are discussed. So maybe that can be done, or earlier meeting, 10-15 minutes earlier. So that is one of the great. And also in my store in Pitampura, which is kind of silly stuff, when there are some malfunction calculators which is given to a certain RSOs. So these RSOs, when they actually have to calculate, there were situations when they actually go to another salesperson and take that calculator and come back to this customer. So there is always a time lag here. So a customer can get irritated, or a customer who's being converted can be lost out. So if we can avoid this, I know it doesn't make a difference on the whole, because on the whole a calculator would at the end of the day cost around 200 rupees. So 20 RSOs, if you have 20 calculators, give them at the start of the day. When they're leaving the store, take it back. I think this can be an effective method to do that. And the next one is, I've just done a SWOT analysis. Of the SWOT analysis, what I'm trying to do is, I have certain strengths of the store and also weaknesses and the ahead. So firstly, coming to the strength, what I would say, it has a large floor space. It has close to 3 floors, so that's a great strength, and also a large variety. Diamonds has a diamond section, the gold section, the antique piece section. So it is pretty much a good, well-structured layout store. The VM is brilliant. The store ambience is amazing. And also, what I think is, for the Pitampura store, I happen to find a lot of young and a very energetic group of RSOs, which I think is a great initiative. I think a great initiative by the HR to actually getting some really good staff there. and I think the certified training that they had was a great, and also the back end office is well kept and it's all structured. It's the pantry is well done, and also the Karigri section is I think one of the biggest. The Karigri section in Pitampura is one of the biggest compared to the other Tanishq stores, which is again brilliant. And also, what the weaknesses is when I was working for the first 7-8 weeks, there was no store manager. So basically, what I thought was they were missing a leader, someone who could really help them, you know, with what they want. The motivational factor was missing. Was nobody knew who the leader was, and I felt somewhere that they didn't have the chance to take up the responsibility. And also less parking space. I think the parking space was a huge factor, and there were issues when customers didn't find, and I did see a couple of customers leaving around. And also the opportunity. What I would say is uh, today's world, I think the ladies' office collection or the basic small bracelets and eyewear and the platinum collection have a great opportunity to grow up in the field. So I think that's a great opportunity. And also Tanishq is should also like introduce interactive sessions with a few of the corporates if that could be possible, and if our store people can, as RSOs, can actually go ahead and talk to, that would be a great thing. And also the biggest threat in the present situation which I see on a personal note is the government policy, the PAN card policy, where any jewelry worth above 2 lakhs you have to submit your PAN card. I did happen to find a couple of customers who were kind of uncomfortable with that. So the buying has, I mean, it will take a stern effect on the long term basis. If this is going to see, the store is slightly going to see a lesser sale, but I'm sure the government will come out with some better policy. And also the 1% service tax issue, and also on the whole the industry taking a back step, and the deviation of the gold price is also a huge threat for the store revenue. So as far as I know, this was for me at Tanishq. It was a great learning experience for me to interact with so many RSOs and also the senior RSOs, and then we had the floor managers, then we had the store manager finally after after 4-5 weeks. So it was a great learning experience on the whole, and for me to work in such an executive jewelry section, to be a part of their organization and to be a part of their disciplined organization, which I would like to repeat again. I would like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity and hearing me out, and hope to work again in Titan industry very soon. Thank you so much.